mid mornings and not early mornings. But guys, I got early morning. I started off this morning with 35 people watching first thing at 7 o'clock this morning, my times. And they stayed on for 2 hours.
Hey guys, we are live at WQEE 99 FM in Noonan. And there's Noonan. There it is. Everybody getting to work. We're just off of Jackson Street in downtown Noonan. We can see the courthouse. If it wasn't for this tree, and the wind
just knock down the natural.
Yeah, just get rid of all that beauty so that I can see the courthouse. No, it's a good view. We're here with Ryan. Hey, Mr. Ryan.
Hello.
We've been visiting with Ryan for a year, and today we're going live in the studio. What? So follow along, guys. We're going to talk about some cool stuff this morning.
I appreciate that, big beast. It's an honor to be
Histories and Mysteries on Weird Wednesday, which is not surprising to anyone who knows me.
No, that is our guest in the studio this morning, guys.
Good morning.
That is History and Mysteries. Sally Tools with us this morning, Zach. Instead of being on the phone, she came live to the studio today.
And here is the studio. Peace. The old hippie Ryan and old hippie Sally. Boy, the stories we could probably tell, huh? We'll be going live in the radio in just a few minutes, guys. Thanks for checking in and tagging along.
Good. Cher says, good morning, Sally.
Good morning. Cher. Oh,
from Iowa.
Ah, Cher from Iowa. I love it.
She loved my OGs know all of my guests. They know all of you guys.
I love it.
They know everything about you.
I love it. Well, not everything.
I don't know. Cher might know something.
Cher might.
We call her Mama Cher. She's the elder states lady.
I love it. She can teach us a few things, right?
She can.
Yep, I'm sure. But yeah, we're going to talk about the last video that
She's only 25, though. That's what I tell her.
She's only 25.
That's what I tell her.
But she's very worldly.
That's right.
Very
always
worldly.
tell her she's only 25.
Very, very worldly.
So that I don't get my butt whooped. What's up, Pete? Says, hey, Cher. Pete's from Noonan. Just to let you guys know, Pete's from Noonan.
Hey, Pete.
He knows all about what you're going to be talking about. Like, oh, really? Uh-huh.
Yeah, he probably will.
Good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, good morning. This is Alice.
Hey, Alice.
How's your day been so far?
It's been pretty good, except for I'm hungry and need breakfast.
Great to hear that. I am just calling to let you know that the government is giving you subsidy to help you pay your bills
They did.
without any cost to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you currently have any government or state-provided health insurance?
Yeah, I'm ripping off the government right now. I got everything.
Okay. Well,
okay. Me too.
For the subsidy. Just one last question.
I'm going to have to hang up. AI.
We're just messing with the telemarketer, people.
I do it every time. You see how they're trying to go?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Here we go. Welcome back into Rhino Radio Penitentiary, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. 50,000 plus of you, or I should say 70,000 plus of you worldwide on the Shoutcast channel. Across the Rhino Radio media page, Earth Rock Radio, New Mexico, Arizona, and the Navajo Nation. 25 real and internet radio stations there. Plus, we're across the British Columbia Isles of Canada, And finally, right here at 99.1 FM, WQE The Key, Atlanta's very own Inspirational Talks, Southern Sports, and more. We're right here with you on a TGI Wednesday, Weird Wednesday right here. And we're going to kick it off. We're on YouTube. Go to our YouTube page, like, subscribe, and share. Help a brother out with $ Ryan Sheelander on Cash App or PayPal.me/Ryan Sheelander. Help a brother out there. All of our wonderful listeners worldwide on with us here, getting ready for a great guest who's normally on the phone with me, but she is going to be live in the studio today. Please welcome. She is an author, an actress, a tour guide, a traveler, a blogger, a grandma, a chef, a wife, a Family Feud world champion, and Steve Harvey was lucky enough to meet her. Please welcome from Histories and Mysteries, our friend Sally Toole.
Hey, good morning, Ryan. Hey, this is kind of fun to be in the studio for a change. I'm digging it.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's something going on with the mic.
Uh-oh. Technical difficulties, guys.
Let's see.
Let's see. The old test 1, 2, 3. We'll try it. Any better? Any better?
Do it again.
Am I coming in
There
clear?
you go. You're clear as a bell. Woohoo!
Willy Wonka will be proud of me now.
Finally, it's clear as a bell. All right. Well, okay. Here we are again. And technical difficulties
It's
thanks
all right.
to the.
It happens. It happens. We're good now.
Well, we got Family Feud champion. You know, before we get into the poll question, talk about what we're going to talk about this morning. You know, I hear that Steve Harvey was very lucky to meet you and your family, and you know, he's still trying to do that little show called Family Feud.
I mean, you know, it's taken off. I think it's gonna be
big.
It's gonna be big one day.
One day.
Big one day.
Thanks to your family, really.
Yeah, right. It was just all about the Toole family, but
Well, what
hey,
you got?
we had a blast on there, though. I have to tell you, and we get questions about it all the time. Steve was a great guy.
Right.
He was very, very friendly. He didn't have a big air about him. You know, of course, a big star. I will say, though, we were very shocked in between takes when he started dropping the F-bomb like crazy. And people are like, well, I've seen his live show. We're used to this. But to me, it was a little bit of a shock because but other than that, he was a great guy, very funny. And one of the episodes that we were on, he wore what we called his pickle suit. Now, you know, the suits are so bright. He had this bright green suit, this pickle suit. And it was funny, though. It came out at the beginning, had on one suit. We started the show, introductions, you know.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the director, he's listening. The whole thing stops. He goes off for 25 minutes, comes out in a new suit. We never found out what was wrong with the suit, but there must have been something that messed up on the camera.
Yep.
You know, it faded in with some sort of chroma key. Who knows what? I don't know what was going on, but he was so mad that he had to go change suits. But that was our one funny thing with the old Steve Harvey. But
well, I tell you what, it's the Rhino Radio Penitentiary. We got another good one for you. Rhino. Let's get into it. We're going to get into it with Sally here in just a moment from Histories and Mysteries, of course. Now, I'm going to ask you this question. This is the poll question this morning. Which is the scariest place to visit in the United States? I got Savannah, Georgia at 26% of the votes. St. Augustine, Florida, 11% of the votes. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, 23% of the votes. And Sleepy Hollow, New York at 40% of the votes. Many others came up too, from Salem, Massachusetts to all the way out to Hollywood and everywhere. But these were the four I picked this morning because they were in the top 15 scariest places is the reason I picked them. Actually, the number one was not the one I used, but this one
I know number one.
Yeah. So
they've got voodoo. So
yeah, that's it. I decided not to use that one, so
that's sort of a no-brainer. We'll knock that one off the list to give everybody else a chance, right?
Exactly. So, which one is your pick?
Well, everybody knows it's got to be St. Augustine, hands down. Now, I will say Gettysburg is cool. Savannah's listed as number 2
Yes.
In the United States. St. Augustine's a solid number 3, but you know, it's just part of my heart. I love the town. I'm a licensed tour guide there still. So I got to say St. Augustine. But
there you go.
You know, it really, it's been there a long time, guys. So back to the Spanish and the Tamaqua Indians. So really anywhere you walk in St. Augustine, you're walking on deceased people buried beneath you, whether by storm or by cemetery or by battle.
There's plenty of cemeteries there.
If you visit the Castillo de San Marco right on the bayfront, the whole field in front of there, under the parking lot, literally every parking lot in St. Augustine was probably paved right over several dead bodies. And that's just the way it is. So
sounds like a fun place.
Yeah, it's a great place.
And you're going there.
I'm going there on Sunday. Yay. So
you and Mark.
Me and Mark. No, he keeps wanting to bring one of the grandkids, but I'm like a hard no on that one. No grandkids.
He's like, come on, it's not going to scare him too much.
No. We need a break from the grandkids.
Oh, okay. I see.
Grandma needs to take a nap every afternoon for a week and try to catch up. We've been going crazy. We got our camper. We're fixing to start traveling in the camper. We got our state park pass the other day,
there
so
you
we'll
go.
be ready to roll. We're building a little office for my son and working on that, and I'll be working out of that office as well. So we've got a lot going on. On top of all that, I started a tour company.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the big exciting news.
Yeah, we'll talk about that here before we get out of here.
Pretty fun stuff.
And before we get into our topic of the day, question from 12 out of New York. He says, which one is with the voodoo? He wants to know.
Can you guess?
Can you guess, 12?
Get a little interaction going there.
Yeah, come on, 12.
Come
Can
on,
you guess?
Voodoo.
Voodoo. He's like,
Voodoo.
no.
Mardi Gras. There's another
Mardi
hint.
Gras. Yeah, Mardi Gras.
Yep.
Hey, good morning, Daniel.
It is indeed
Knowledge.
New Orleans. New Orleans is rated number 1. If you take a tour in Savannah, St. Augustine, your tour guide's going to start off the evening by telling you you're in the 3rd most haunted city of St. Augustine. And we asked, guess number 1. A lot of people say Salem. A lot of people say Gettysburg.
Right.
They're on the list. But the list officially, I don't know even who does these official lists, but the official list is New Orleans, Savannah, Georgia, and St. Augustine.
That's it.
So
that was the list I saw.
That's right. The lighthouse in St. Augustine. And I love it when I throw out facts and somebody says, I Googled it and you were right. So that always makes me feel good when I'm right on my facts. But St. Augustine Lighthouse is very well known. It's usually featured like in magazines and on TV if you're talking haunted places. So.
Exactly. Well, guys, go ahead and guess in there. We're going to get into our question and answers today. We're going to talk about a very unusual home. I mean, if you're going to move somewhere, you're going to have an exciting time. Everybody wants to move into a perfect home, but sometimes that perfect home may be already inhabited. Ooh. So you just never know. So let's talk about what are we talking about today, Sally?
So we are talking about a little house in Turin, Georgia. Now, if you come to this part of Georgia, Ryan and I are right in the heart of Coweta County. Yeah. We're in downtown Newnan. Newnan's been here since before the Civil War. Okay,
yes,
a long time. Well, who came here in the 1800s? Those were the land surveyors, because they kicked the Indians out and in the land lottery of 1820. Well, in Turin, one of these land surveyors, his name was Richard LaVille, and he built a small settler's cabin in what is now Turin, Georgia. Okay. So a lot of people come here. We love The Walking Dead. You know, we all love The Walking Dead. They come to see Sonoy and Newnan. Right in between those two towns is this little town of Turin. And the house is not only cool because it has a Walking Dead element, it's also cool because it's a 200-year-old house. Ooh. And in over 200 years, you know there's going to be great stories.
Yes.
And Big Mark and I actually unearthed, you could say, we dug up, not bones and bodies. Look at me like that. Ryan's thinking, what did y'all dig up in the yard out there? We dug up stories. So the owner, Judy Batty, it's an Airbnb.
Okay.
So you can go stay at this 200-year-old house, which is super cool.
Right.
And just like other Airbnbs that we have highlighted that are older, when you stay there, if you've ever said to yourself, I'd like to spend the night in a museum.
Right.
Well, you can find one of these old Airbnbs. Okay. It's called the Page House. I'll give it a shout out.
Page House.
I think Miss Judy's listening this morning. Morning, Miss Judy.
Good morning, Miss Judy.
And the Page House, she is desperately trying to save. And Richard LaVille built the back part of this house. And we, on our last video, take you inside, tour the house, hear the stories. The house now is this incredibly large home. And it was featured on The Walking Dead, season 11, episode 6. The famous episode that it's like a horror movie. And it was called On the Inside. And it's the feral house, where they find feral humans that during the apocalypse, they got so far gone that they're really crawling around in the walls like rats. Ooh. And they're going after humans. And they're eating humans. And we go down in the basement where on the show they have bones where they had been gnawing on bones of humans. So it's a really cool episode. It's a really cool house, and the owner let us tour there, and it's an awesome place. But then when she shared the history, not only is it neat for The Walking Dead, but we found out that the doctor who lived there, Dr. Page, who inherited it from Richard LaVille, who was his stepfather, he really wanted his son to be educated. So Page, Dr. Page, George Page, he went off to learn medical school. When he came back, he was the doctor in Turin, built onto the house, and he did something during the Civil War which could have really gotten him in trouble. But he had the history of him recorded by his family says he had a deep religious heart. So basically, he would tend to medically rich, poor, African American, white, didn't matter. And then when the Civil War came, he tended to 2 Union soldiers who stumbled up to his door.
Evil.
Well, in that time, you could get in big trouble. They would consider you, fostering them, keeping them.
Right. You were a traitor.
You were a traitor.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so he took a big risk and he brought them in. He tried to nurse them back to health. Unfortunately, both of them did pass away. October 9th and October 10th of 1863, both of these soldiers did pass away in this house, either in the house or likely on a porch. Because that in those days in history, you would have like a travel porch.
Right.
And any traveler who came by your home, there would be an area where they could just sort of spend the night and get out of the weather. And it was a traveling porch. A lot of old houses had this.
Right.
And so maybe they were on the porch, maybe they were in the barn, maybe they were in the house. We don't know the details, but unfortunately they passed away. Now, Dr. Page was such a Christian that he took a big risk by taking care of them. And when they passed away, the local ladies from his church, they had a heart for these young boys who died, and they buried them and gave them stones in Tranquility Cemetery, which is still in Turin. You can still go see their cemetery plots. They put them there. The note on the church records is they're someone's son, and if their mothers ever come looking for them, we want their names on their stones.
Wow.
Now you compare that to the thousands of young men killed during the Civil War, buried God only knows where, literally.
Exactly.
Or not buried at all, just either mass graves, maybe just swallowed up by a creek,
thrown in a fire, a bonfire.
But tossed in a fire, just completely never heard of again. That's one of the reasons after the Civil War, spiritualism sort of gained some momentum in the United States because so many people were desperate to find out, is my son, my husband, my brother, my uncle, are they at peace? Are they at rest? And a lot of times nobody ever found out. So these dear people in Turin, Georgia, this little town in Georgia, they had a big heart for these Union soldiers, which they were the enemy at that point.
Yep.
But they buried them there at the Tranquil Cemetery. But what's neat about it is the story didn't just stop there.
Right.
The story continued. Other people who have relatives at this little cemetery, they said, the stones are getting really messed up, and we're going to order stones from the government. If you are a military veteran, the government will put a stone wherever you are buried free of charge to your family.
Okay.
And we've seen these in other plots. They're very distinct, these military stones.
Right.
You can put the Star of David. If you're Jewish, you can have a cross.
Okay.
You can have a Masonic symbol.
Okay.
And so these boys, someone from the cemetery, 100 years after their death, asked this federal government for new stones.
Right.
Well, the stones were shipped for these boys, but for 20 years, they were in storage in Grantville, Georgia, because they were shipped to the wrong warehouse.
Wow.
And their tombstones laid unknown to anyone in a warehouse in Grantville for 20 years.
Ooh.
And then when they started cleaning out this warehouse, somebody said, hey, we've got some tombstones here. And a little bit of research found out that they were supposed to be placed. And now if you go to Tranquil Cemetery in Turin, you can see the original stones broken up. it's got Dr. Page's name, taken care of by Dr. Page.
Right.
And then above those, standing straight, are two military veteran stones that are finally placed on their graves after 200 years almost of them being gone, and for them to being lost in a warehouse for 20 years.
Wow.
So to me, that's a pretty cool story, all related to this house, the Page House in Turin.
Well, when you started bringing up Dr. Page and his house and everything, first thing that come to my mind was American Horror Story's first season, where they had that haunted house and there was a doctor in that house. And that was the first thing that came to my mind.
Ryan always goes straight to the horror movies.
Straight to the horror movies. These would make perfect shows. American Horror Story should be writing these.
Straight to the horror movies. I love it. I love it. Well, and so we asked Miss Judy about the house as far as did it have spirit energy that she knew of. And to her, the house gives her a big hug. That's sweet. And she goes, I don't really think we have ghosts. But Dr. Page did fall down the steps, break his neck, and died in the house. It was like, okay, so it could have some spirit energy after all.
Right. Exactly.
So that's kind of cool. Kind of cool. So if you ever want to go see the house, I've got a way for people to do that.
Okay.
Guess what I did, Ryan? I started a company. I'm finally free of my contract to another very, very reputable and well-known tour company. And they do a great job, but I wanted to break away. And I'm free of that tour company legally. Okay. So I started my own tour company as of July 1st. And it's called Georgia Locations Scout. Ooh. And you can go with me to Walking Dead locations.
All right.
And in the middle of this day-long driving trip, we go to the Turin house where the owner, Miss Judy Batty, prepares a catered meal of homemade pasta, Alfredo, a dessert, and a salad. And you get to stay in the house for an hour, wandering the house and taking photographs. So the tour is called Dead in a Day.
Ooh,
the Dead in a Day tour. Dead in a Day.
You got me at the pasta.
Yeah, there you go. Me too. I got at the pasta.
Got me at the pasta. There you go.
At the pasta. But it's going to be a fun tour, and it's going to be cool to be able to add right in the middle of the tour. We're going to stop off at the Page House. We're going to have lunch. You're going to be in the building, and then off we go. This tour literally will take guests to over 100 locations of The Walking Dead.
Wow.
So it's going to be a great tour, and we're super excited to kick it off.
Well, I can't wait for you. We'll get more information about that before we get out of here with you, because we want everybody to get in touch with you, people that might be planning a summer vacation.
Or when the weather cools down, that's cool too. It's going to be a beautiful thing to do September, October, November. And if you're into the spooky stuff, the other tour we offer is a Tales from the Tombstones.
Oh, I like that.
And we're going to stay pretty close to the Sharpsburg, Turin, and Luthersville area. We've talked about Luthersville,
yes.
And Lone Oak. So this tour is going to take people physically to the Page House.
Right.
You'll hear the stories of the people that live there. Then I'll take you to their graves.
Ooh.
Then I'll take you to the Trammell House in Luthersville. We'll hear about their life stories. And then I'll take you to their graves. And we'll stop at a really cool little place in Luthersville and have a snack in between. It's a new place. Shout out to AJ's Pizza Grab and Go.
Oh, wait a minute. You have pizza?
You can have a pizza or a burger. So we're going to, these tours are going to include lunch. It's going to be a great thing. But the cemetery tour is going to be awesome. I think in October, if anybody's, curious about history and cemeteries, people love our videos about the cemeteries. It's something about hearing the stories of people that went before us that folks just love.
Wow. Well, we're going to take a break, guys. When we come back, we got more with Sally Toole from Histories and Mysteries. We'll continue talking this morning, get more information, and how you can get out and have a wonderful spooky time. Ooh. Back here in a moment. Get away with more. They do. I got.
They get Papa wrapped around their finger. That's for sure.
All of mine have me wrapped.
Yeah, my one granddaughter told my husband one time, told Big Mark, "You're wrapped around my whole body." You got me.
And
And he's like, yeah, I guess I do.
He's
Anybody wants ice cream, go to Pop. He's going to be the man. Yeah, we're in a little commercial break, guys. We are here in the studio. Oh, I've got people chatting and I don't know how to say hello to them. So hi guys, I'm new to this whole live thing. But look, I got people commenting.
Hey, morning.
Good morning. I love it. I love it. Thanks for checking in.
Well, Sherry, I would like to find out more about that place in Iowa, Axe Murder House.
Oh man.
Woo!
That's right up our alley, isn't it, Ryan?
That's it.
That's it. Not that Ryan and I are axe murderers. Well,
no,
at least
I just married one.
no one's found the body yet, right?
That's right.
That's right. So if they don't find the body,
It's the South.
like John Wallace would say, no body, no murder. No body, no murder. And little lookout, traffic's kind of died down a little bit in beautiful downtown. You know, what's this?
Oh, a great grandbaby. Okay.
What's the story on this building? Is
This
this
is
an
the
older
Hirsch
building?
building. Yeah, this is the old building.
The Hirsch building.
Hirsch building, yeah.
Yeah, and you know what my maiden name was?
What?
Hirsch,
Really?
but it's spelled Hirsch.
So is this your family's building?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, I know that there was a downstairs was a dry cleaner, and in the back there was a elevator went up and down.
Really? Yeah.
And the elevator goes down because the place below us, they used to use the elevator.
Right.
And there was like a sign shop in there before it became a bookstore.
Huh.
And they would use the elevator, but the elevator doesn't come up because we got a bathroom in there now.
Oh, okay.
Restroom there now.
Gotcha.
We got Ryan's restroom because I'm the only male in the building. So it's Ryan's restroom and the women's bedroom.
Ryan and the women.
That's it.
Okay, there you
It's
go.
the women's restroom and then Ryan's restroom. I'm going to put my name on there.
There you go. Keep everybody out.
All right. We're coming back.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for checking in. I don't know how to talk back to you right now, but I'm going to try.
Good morning. Welcome back into Rhino Radio Penitentiary, ladies and gentlemen. We're about 31 minutes past the hour. 76 degrees, beautiful sunny skies out there in the Atlanta market and all around Noonan area. Of course, we're holding that. Active Pest Control bringing you a look at that. Time, temperature, and everything brought to you by Active Pest Control. Summer, winter, spring, fall. We don't care for those rodents, critters, or gooey things at all. Mike and the crew can exterminate and let us smack down for you. All right, we thank everybody for being with us this morning as we're heading back into our weird Wednesday edition of the Rhino Radio Penitentiary. And our guest this morning from Histories and Mysteries, yes, she's got a lot of things from acting to tour guiding to a brand new business and Family Feud champion, the one, the only Sally Toole with us. And of course, Mark likes to call her the breakfast queen.
Yes, he does. He had his fried egg first thing this morning. Don't worry about Big Mark.
I had to make sure.
We've been staying in the camper, and so we're staying in the camper in the summer. We've been getting to go out a lot for breakfast, and I tell you, shout out to the Waffle House right over on Temple Avenue. They know.
Oh, yeah, that's not too far.
We love them. We love them. We've got a couple of sweet little waitresses in there we just like. And then, of course, the Town and Country. Woo!
Oh, yes.
Everybody go there for breakfast. So we've been eating out a little bit. Miss Sally's been a little bit spoiled.
I'm
letting
sure
somebody else cook.
Well, I tell you what, I can tell you guys, anybody who knows what a Waffle House is, this one on Temple is not a Waffle House. It's actually a pretty good restaurant.
It's very good. It's very good. It's very good. And they're real quick and they're real sweet.
They are.
And you can't beat those cheesy eggs, I'm telling you.
No, you can't beat too much over there. Pepper says hello, Sally from Pepper.
Hello.
And everybody's saying hello to you. All right.
Hello.
Let's get back to it. We're continuing talking about weird and unknown and scary homes and different things that are going on, staircases and so much more. Pete says he loves Town and Country. So there's another shout out. Town and Country, we'll send over a bill to you pretty soon.
That's right. That's right. We need to get a paid advertisement from them.
That's right. But let's continue talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that house, the Page House over there in Turin, you're talking about staircases.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody wants to see the coolest staircase ever, now it's nothing fancy.
Is it spiral?
It's not spiral, but it's
Okay.
a half circle.
Oh,
And what's cool about
Harvard.
it is on The Walking Dead, these creatures that kind of got dubbed the feral people.
Yeah, they were the ones
'cause
in the wall.
They've lost it. Okay, they're not handling the apocalypse well, to say the least. But they're handling it in their own way. So who's to say how you would handle that situation? But they come down, they creep down these stairs. And on the video that we've got on YouTube, check it out, guys. It's part one of the Page House in Turin. Part two is coming out at the end of this week. That's going to be all the history. Part one is all Walking Dead.
Okay.
So if you're a Walking Dead fan, part one is the one for you. Part two is history. They're both great.
Both are
But,
great. Yes.
but the owner literally crouches down the steps on the video showing us. And then we put in some screenshots and little blurbs from the show. Now, this show, the star of the show, Lauren Radloff, she does have hearing issues in real life. So the director, Greg Nicotero, he completely shuts out the sound in certain spots on the show to add to the horror. You could watch this one episode, even if you don't know The Walking Dead, as just a horror episode all of its own.
Right.
She is horrified these people behind the walls. And there is one, it's the thumbnail that I use. There is one episode, one part of the episode where knives are being thrust through the walls right in front of her eyes. And she is desperate to tell Virgil, who's there with her. He doesn't speak sign language, so they're desperately trying to communicate. She takes a knife and scratches into the wall, not alone, trying to tell him, we're not safe here, we got to get out. And what they do is they hide behind the front door, let the walkers, their zombies, come in, and they attack these feral living humans. And in the video that we showed in the house, all of that was filmed. The only part not filmed in this house was a bathroom episode and one behind the walls segment. That was studio. Every other part of episode 6 on season 11, this section about this house, was filmed right there in the house and on the property. And we line up the screenshots for people. So if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, man, you got to come down to Georgia sometime. Plan a trip. I can not only get you a tour planned, I can get you in one of these Airbnbs. You could literally spend your vacation in a house that was used on the show.
Oh my goodness.
Now, if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, mind blowing.
That is mind blowing. And it's mind blowing about these pharaohs and zombies and the zombies attacking them. This sounds like a cool episode of monster versus monster or whatever, zombie versus monsters or whatever they are, you know. And
it was like a whole different type of human surviving. This was so random. That was the first time on the show that they appeared, these pharaohs. It was like
smart.
Whoop, just, you know. And then, of course, we know at the end of season 11, the walkers, the zombies start doing more things. And if you're a Walking Dead fan, you remember the early seasons, they could pick things up. They could turn doorknobs.
Yeah, they could get in.
They could do things. And then the zombies sort of changed to just running into walls, blah, blah, you know.
Yeah, they wouldn't eat enough brains.
Right, they weren't doing much.
They didn't have enough nutrients.
There you go. And then at the end of 11, these zombies start doing more things. And so it's a cool episode. And Greg Nicotero, you know, I'm a super big fan of Greg's. And he's such a nice guy, always gracious with the fans. And he just wants y'all to be entertained.
Well, you know, the cool thing about it, in the end, after watching all of this or hearing about all this, it shows that humankind, us, the regular folks, we can outsmart everything. Because those two people outsmarted two entities and had them fight one another, and they were out of there.
They got out of there. And what was interesting about that episode,
human power.
Go humans. Was, you know, this particular character, Connie, she had been gone for several episodes, thought to be presumed dead in a cave. That was Carol's fault. And Daryl and Connie had developed a relationship. They were dear friends.
I heard about that.
A very, very close bond between the two of them. And when Carol did what she did in the cave, you know, Daryl held it against her. As much as Daryl's character loved the character of Carol, he still had a gripe with her. So Carol, when she finds out that Connie could be alive, she goes after her to try to sort of even the score of what she knew she thought she'd killed her.
Wow.
But Connie survived and comes back with the group. And but that house, the history of it is so cool.
Yes.
The part about The Walking Dead is super cool.
Mhm.
So there's just so much going on, and you can't even see it off the road. It's all
Right.
covered. A developer was going to tear it down, and this is just a few years ago.
Wow.
And luckily, Miss Judy and her husband just rallied with the city of Turin,
Right.
and they purchased the home from
Awesome.
the developer, and they're desperate to save it. So one of the ways we can help save this home, guys,
Let's
if
do
you're
it.
into historical homes, is take a tour with me, because I will
Yes.
be paying a fee for every tour we take. We're going to be paying the Page House a fee, not only for the food that we take in, but also just touring.
Right.
So she will be developing an income from my tours. And then another little thing we're going to do is we're going to try to do a once a month pasta making party,
Uh-oh.
where the caterer Judy's going to teach everybody how to make pasta. So there you go, Ryan.
Uh-huh.
If you love pasta,
Oh,
you'll
here
have
we
to
go.
hit up one of our pasta
I
nights.
have to do that for sure.
Yeah, but it's really cool to walk these homes and to think about. Now, there was a little girl, Carolina Page. She passed away at the age of 6 in the home.
Right.
There's no indication of what could have, likely disease.
More disease back in that
likely
day.
in
Yes.
disease. Now, we have come across occasionally graves where 2 people died on the same within a few days, father,
Yeah.
son, and sometimes we wonder farm accidents,
Could be.
or sickness.
Sickness.
Usually.
Most of the time it's sickness.
Most of the time it's sickness,
Yeah.
but people did fall off the wagon, not off the wagon like that, but
Yeah, they fell off the
literally
wagon.
fell off the wagon. And so there's lots of things that, could have led to death in those days. But she is certainly a spirit that we could be looking for
Uh-oh.
when we tour the famous Page House. And if you guys want to check out she's got a Facebook page, The Page House.
Okay.
Turin, Georgia. Judy Batty is the owner. Or go to my YouTube channel and check out the video, because this is a house that is just something unusual around every corner. When old houses are added onto,
Right.
you get, okay, look up there. That used to be a stairwell. Now it's closed in. Look over here. Now that used to be a door. No, that's closed in now. And so these houses have been through so much change. And when you change a house or restore a house,
Right.
the psychics and the paranormal people say it stirs stuff up.
Stirs up the
It
spirits.
stirs up the spirits, certainly.
And that's
does.
another stirring the
Yes,
spirits.
stirring the spirits.
They do that at the Alamo
Yep,
too.
Yep, they do those kind of spirits as well. So, and we're just trying to help her. She's desperate to preserve the house. It's a 200-year-old house. If it gets torn down, it can never be replaced.
Right.
So we want to do everything we can as a tour company to help her generate some extra income,
Right.
while offering the fans of The Walking Dead, or just fans of history.
Right.
So either you're a Walking Dead fan or a history fan, or you're both.
Could be
So
both.
if you're both,
in this area.
this is going to be,
And
like I
exciting.
said, completely mind-blowing trip for you.
Well-
And if you've got a family member who loves The Walking Dead, but maybe you didn't ever watch, well, we still go places like Fried Green Tomatoes locations,
Uh-oh.
Lawless,
Uh-oh.
lots of other movies and TV shows that we will also be taking in. So
Okay.
there's a lot of cool stuff out there right in the area. We're right in it, Ryan.
We are in the midst of
In
it.
the middle of it.
Well, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you about that, because I've got listeners on here that are saying, hey, they've got to take that tour.
Oh, you got to take this tour. So you can reach out to me. I'm going to give out my phone number right now. It's out there in the world. I don't mind. Give me a call. 386-385-2042, because this is not a 7-day-a-week tour. This is a tailored tour to what you want to do. You call me, and if the tours I'm offering are not what you want, let's talk. Let's come up with a tour that is just your cup of tea.
Wow.
And it's going to be great. We got the History Tombstone tour. We got the Walking Dead tour. And check out the YouTube channel, Histories and Mysteries.
There you
Because a
go.
lot of the places we've been, we have recorded the videos. And now today, when I leave here, I'm going to be editing part 2 of the Turin House, the history, and we will go to the cemetery and we will show you the doctor's grave, the 2 Union soldiers' grave, even little Carolina Page, the little 6-year-old who passed away in the house, probably from disease. we're going to go do all that on video. So if you see things on video that you like, give me a call or comment.
Yep.
Now the website is Georgia LocationsScout.com. It's still a work in progress, so it's a real rough website yet, but give me some chances to, but it's still good. It's got your info on it. But everything's a work in progress, Ryan. You know that.
Of course, I know. Believe me.
Especially when we're self-employed folks like us.
I know.
It's always a work in progress.
It is always a work in progress for sure. I know what you mean.
And that's why we help each other out, because I want you guys to tune into WQEE 99.1 FM in Noonan.
Woo-hoo.
And Ryan wants you to check out my YouTube channel, so we help each other out. And hi to everybody who's commenting. I don't really know how to comment back, but hi. Another learning curve for Miss Sally.
You'll get to respond back to it, but if you respond while they're live, you're gonna have the phone in your face and you're gonna be
I
typing.
don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So hi everybody, and I'll get back, and thanks for all the comments. I think this is the first time I've gone live, Ryan. So you're the first live guy.
First live guy.
First live guy.
On the Walking Dead. On the Walking Dead.
Yeah, the first live guy in a dead tour.
On the Dead tour.
I don't know how that works, but
I don't know.
I don't know how any of that works, but yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
guys, definitely make sure you do this. I know we got a lot of you guys asking in my feed about it, and Pete says he wants to take it. Of course, we
Come
got
on.
Pepper and Pete's local. Pepper
Great.
is from upstate, so probably somewhere in New York or something like that. She wants to take it.
Hey,
so-
there's planes.
Yep, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Planes, trains, and
There
automobiles.
used to be a movie about that.
Yep, and I tell you what, anybody out there too, if you get to the airport,
Virginia. Okay, she's
and
from
you- and,
Virginia.
you know, you want to ride from the airport, shout out to me, message me, because I might be able to help you even get out from the airport.
Okay.
Our vehicle's completely insured and licensed now for all of this that we're doing.
Okay.
We're all on the up and up. We've got all of our ducks in a row. We've been working on this for a year now, Ryan.
Okay.
And we've been chomping at the bit to get out there and get people out on a great tour. And remember, I'm the only tour guide that AMC promoted on a documentary
Mhm.
called Generation Dead. So if you
Mhm.
want to take a tour with the only tour guide in Atlanta that was featured on an AMC
There you go.
documentary, it's got to be me.
Well, Pepper, she's from Virginia, so she.
I
That's
love
the-
Virginia. I used to live in Virginia.
Yep, and I guess she's into the Walking Dead because isn't that never mind.
Yeah, Alexandria, Virginia.
Virginia, yeah.
That's where I grew up, as a matter of fact. Is that
Really?
crazy?
Oh
so
my
all
goodness.
things come full circle.
That's where you grew up. That's where the show is based. The show is filmed here in our neck of the woods.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Weird,
Pretty
weird
weird
world.
Wednesday.
It's weird. All right, guys, and how to follow you and all that good stuff.
So, like I said, on the YouTube channel, Histories and Mysteries, that's great. The new website, GeorgiaLocationsScout.com. Give me a call, however you want to do it. We're probably going to be developing a Facebook page by that same name. This is all a work in progress. We've got a lot of work to do, but I'm working out of a camper right now, guys, so give me a break. But we'll have a desk set up soon instead of laptops piled on laptops and headphones here and there. And what happened to my flash drive? And you know, some of these little cameras we use now, the memory card is this big.
Yes, really,
Really tiny. So if you drop that somewhere, you have to really search for it.
especially if you got a bunch of how you would say it, mess.
Mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mark blames it on you. You
Big
blame it
Mark? Big
You,
Mark.
you
Yeah.
blame it on Big Mark, and he
Okay.
blames it on you.
We got 8 grandkids too, so we got a lot.
That's the ones to blame it on. They'll blame it on each
There's a
other.
lot of blame to go around. There's a lot of blame to go around. But this has been awesome right here live at Noonan.
Guys, we're going to be back here. We want to thank Sally Toole once again from Histories and Mysteries, and we're going to tell her she's out on good behavior from the Rhino Radio Penitentiary.
yay! I always worry near the
Yeah.
end. I'm always concerned.
Whether we let you out or not, sometimes we have to keep you in. Back in a moment.
Awesome. That was awesome, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to you soon.
AJ says Sally's awesome. Everybody's enjoying it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Interesting. So